internet people, and welcome to another episode of Board Game Tutorials featuring me, the Broken Box Gamer, brought to you in part by Back to Reality Gaming Productions. Now, in my last video, I talked about a game that my children and I enjoyed. Same with the previous one. That was the last one was Back to the Future, the previous one before that, Pyramid of Penguin, both of which on my shelf back there. Today, no exception. I'll talk about a game that my children enjoy as well as I do. It's a fast-paced, frantic, insane game that's been touted by most as the first-person shooter of board games. Is that true? I don't know. But this... Oh, I'm on the tee. Is Adrenaline. It's a game with 3 to 5 players. Lasts about an hour. And, yeah. Let's have a look how this bad boy plays. And now here are the components for Adrenaline. I'll go over these one by one, but bear in mind I'm only including the components used in the standard game mode, as there are 3 game modes with this. But just to keep things simple, I'll stick to the basic one. Player mats. Awesome miniatures. Turn order tokens. Hit markers. Ammo cubes. Point tokens. Double-sided arena boards. Item spawn tokens. Frag skulls. Weapon cards. Item cards. Well, the first thing you do when playing Adrenaline is to decide which map you like to play on. This can be created by simply flipping the board, because there's one on the other side, and you just align it, you see, to that, creating a total of 4 possible boards that you can play on. So once you've decided what map you'd like to play, you place weapon cards on the outside of the board. See? All good. It doesn't matter what colour the weapons are, as long as they go in the provided slots. The reason being that if somebody stands on this space later on in the game, they can pick up a weapon, provided they can pay for it. Also, you've got item cards, and in the corner, you've got round tokens. More on those in a bit. So once you've put the weapon cards on, you put your skull tokens on, you then pop these bad boys on, all around the board. These are ammo pickups. You can also pick up items, as demonstrated on that one. So what do you do with these? Simple. Stick them on there, ready for players to pick up during the game. When it comes to choosing your character in Adrenaline, it's worth taking note that everybody has the same abilities, same kind of actions. The differences are literally just cosmetic. Unless, of course, you've got the expansion, in which case it does add unique abilities. But we're working on the base game here, so don't worry about that. So, you got Destructor, Sprog, Violet, Banshee, and Dozer. So once you've chosen your character, simply take your reference card and add it to the end of the character board, like so. So the reference card indicates the following. You get 2 actions. These can be either move up to 3 spaces, grab stuff, which is what it's literally called in the manual, where you move 1 space, and grab an item or a weapon, and attack. You can repeat the same action if you wish, but 2 actions is all you get. Once you've completed your 2 actions, if you've fired your gun, you get the option of reloading, provided you can pay the cost, whatever is indicated on the weapon card. Depending on the amount of damage you have taken, you can upgrade your abilities. Here, grab stuff becomes move twice, and grab an item or a weapon. And here, provided you've taken enough damage, you can move and then shoot. So once you've chosen your characters, you got your hit markers, you got your minis. Next thing, ammo cubes. These you can use to purchase new weapons, as well as to reload your gun. Everybody gets the same in their reserve, which is 3 blue, 3 yellow, 3 red. At the beginning of the game, you get 1 of each in your inventory. The rest you can get by picking up any of the boxes or ammo pickups during the game. So now that the ammo is sorted out, the next thing to decide is where you're going to spawn on the map. You can spawn either here, in yellow, here, in red, or over here, in blue. To decide this, you take 2 of your item cards. Let's flip them over, let's have a look. Okay, so the idea is you get to keep one of these items, and the one you give back is the location you spawn on. So let's keep the tag back grenade, more on that later, give back the Newton, just discard it, and we'd spawn Destructobot over here in the red zone. So now that Destructobot is spawned into the map, the first thing he's going to do is grab a weapon. What gun Destructobot can buy is all depending on what guns are in the store on that side of the map. The cube at the top corner shows how much it costs to purchase the item. The cube below that, or cubes in some cases, show how much it would cost to reload it at the end of a round. So Destructobot has looked at the available weapons and decided he wants to purchase the Thor weapon, which costs 1 blue and 1 red to reload it at the end of the round. He takes the 1 blue from his stash, puts it back in his reserve, and takes the weapon. So just to show how varied the weaponry is in this game, let's have a look at one of my favourites, Thor. Now, if I was playing as Violet, and I was attacking Destructor, Thor would allow me to do 2 damage to Destructor. For an additional ammo cube, I could do 1 damage to any person that Destructor could see. So in this case, I could do an extra damage to Dozer. For another cube of ammo, a blue one, I could do 2 damage to someone that Dozer could see. So in this case, Sprog. Meaning in one attack, I could hand out quite a lot of damage to a different number of characters. Nice. So for his second and final action, Destructobot's going to move over here and pick up this tile, which gives him 1 yellow ammo, 1 red ammo, and an item card. Add the ammo that was on the card to your stash. 1 yellow, 1 red. So these are the 4 items that are in the game. First one, the teleporter. Pretty self-explanatory, you can go wherever you want. The targeting scope. Pay 1 ammo of any colour, you can do an extra damage. The tag back grenade. If you take damage from any player, immediately mark them. And lastly, Newton. Knock any player back 2 spaces in any direction. So once you've finished your actions, you can reload, paying whatever cost is listed on your weapon card. In Thor's case, 1 red ammo. Now Destructor didn't actually fire this round, so we'll ignore that part and go straight to just replacing the tokens that he collected. To do that, simply take the top one from a pile and pop it on the board where it belongs. And with that out of the way, on to the next player. So after spawning in and collecting a weapon, the player here, whose in-game name is Violet, decides she's going to attack Destructor over there. How do fights work? Well, let's find out. So the first thing to consider when planning to attack someone in this game is your line of sight. Can you see them? Well, it's pretty obvious that Violet can see Destructor. But there's an extra mechanic in this game where, as long as your character's next to a door, your character can peek through it and have a look at that room and shoot someone in there. So Violet can shoot Dozer over here if she wishes to. But however, when it gets to Dozer's turn, he cannot return fire from where he is in Violet because he's not next to a door and he can't shoot her. Destructor, on the other hand, he can. So Violet is going to attack Destructor, who she can see through the door. She's going to use the weapon that she purchased, which in this case is a grenade launcher. Let's go over a few weapons. So the weapons in Adrenaline are quite varied and all have their own different abilities. But luckily, the symbology they use is quite easy to understand. So for example, the grenade launcher here fires 1 round, which does 1 damage to a player, and knocks them back. For the payment of an additional red cube, you can do 1 more damage onto a square you can see. So for example, you could fire at 1 player, which would knock them back, into a square with loads of other players, and to pay an additional red cube, you damage that player again, as well as all the other characters on that square. If you do find yourself getting stuck with regards to how weapons work, luckily they've included quite a large spreadsheet on how each gun functions. So Violet goes ahead with the attack. So she attacks Destructor, who gets hit for 1 damage, and moves back 1. So let's do the move back 1. And now we'll do the damage. When you damage another character, you simply take one of your damage icons, or damage tokens, and place it on the damage bar of your opponent. This shows who hit who, how many times. In this case, it shows Violet got first blood, so when the time comes that Destructor gets destroyed, you can tally up the score, and Violet will always get at least 1 point for drawing first blood. Let's say, for argument's sake, that it's both Dozer and Violet attacking Destructor. So Dozer would get the next, 2 hits maybe? Once that third hit is done, Destructor now has the ability to move 2 spaces and grab stuff. Let's give him some more damage. So now, as you can see, Destructor's health bar is quite full. He's been hit quite a few times. So old Violet shoots him one more time, which gets the kill shot. Once the player has been destroyed, you take the character off the board and then add up who scored the most points against them. So Violet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, versus Dozer's 4 points. So, going on the scoring here, the person who got the highest score will get 8 points, and second place will get 6 points, 4, 2, 1, and so on and so forth. So once you've added up all the damage and counted in first blood, which means that first player will get 9 points in this case, because Violet got first blood and the highest amount of hits, so she should get 9 points altogether. Once you've added all that together, you go over to the round track over here, take off a skull, and simply cover over the 8. That means that when Destructor gets killed again, first place will only get 6 points, second place will get 4 points, and so on. The reason being is because this prevents people from picking on the same character over and over again. And the game will continue like that, over and over, until, well, for the first match, there's only supposed to be 5 skulls. As soon as the 5th skull is gone, the game ends and you tally up the points. However, there is a final frenzy mode. We'll go into that in a bit. The other thing that's interesting about some of the guns is they mark characters. Let's discuss marking further. So towards the end of the scenario, the situation might look like this. You've got varying degrees of damage done by different characters. You've got the amount of times they've been killed. You've got your ammo in your inventory and in your reserve, collected weapons, items, and points scored. We've got Dozer there as well. At this point in time, it's Destructor's go. He's going to take 2 actions, try and finish Violet off, which will send the game into Final Frenzy, or end it depending on what mode of the game you're playing. So Destructor, for his first action, is going to attack. In this case, he can either attack Violet, or he's going to attack Dozer, which you can see around the corner. The weapon he's going to use is a choice between Whisper and the machine gun. Whisper is the one he's going to choose, because with Whisper, he can't attack anything on his square, or 1 square away from him, but any opponent further than that, he can do 3 damage and mark. As you can see, Destructor can indeed easily attack Violet with the Whisper sniper rifle. Let's see how that plays out. So the first damage goes where it normally does, on the board, in the correct spaces. If you look at the weapon card for the Whisper sniper rifle once again, you can see you've got the 3 damage and the target. Now the target, or the mark as it's called, sits in the little slot provided here. And what that means is the next time that Destructor decides to attack Violet, he'll do the damage with whatever weapon he chooses, as well as gain the additional damage. So, in this case, Destructor chooses to do another attack action against Violet. With the Whisper sniper rifle spent, he'll use the machine gun, which means he can attack 2 characters as long as he can see them. Remember that Destructor can indeed see Dozer and Violet, and given the machine gun allows him to attack 2 characters, he's going to do that. So first of all, we add the damage to Dozer's track. Easy. Then we'll add the damage to Violet, who also gets additional damage done due to the mark, which not only kills her, but also overkills her. Upon Violet's death, she removes a character from the board and distributes points accordingly. After all points have been awarded, the board is then cleared. So in the event of being overkilled, the player that did the overkilling receives a revenge mark from the character that died. It is worth noting you can never hold more than 3 marks from any character. Once all the points have been awarded and the revenge mark is placed, if there is any to place, you simply take the skull token from the tracker here and place it there. which means that Violet will only be worth 4 points. For Violet to respawn, she simply takes another item card and decides which spawn point to jump to. In this case, she's going to jump to blue. Maybe get some revenge. So depending on what version of the game you're playing, the final scale might either end the round, the first game recommends you do 5 rounds and then the game ends, or you can go into Final Frenzy. So yeah, that's Adrenaline. Fantastic, fast-paced board game, blasting away your friends using all this creative weaponry that you can find on the board. And generally speaking, it's a good fun time to be had by all. That's Adrenaline from CGE Games by Philip Neduk. Sorry about the name mess up there, probably got it wrong. Yeah, but it's 3 to 5 players, ages 12 plus. There is an expansion available called Teamwork DLC, I think. If I got that name wrong, I'll put the correct name in the description box. But that gives you an extra player, so you can do 6 players. It gives you new game modes and adds some specific abilities to each character. So varies the gameplay a little bit. But yeah, that's Adrenaline. Amazing game. I'll put a quick flash of how to play Final Frenzy mode up now. And there you go. Enjoy. Till next time. Take care.
Hello, welcome to Ethan's Gaming Corner, and today we'll be talking about Da ist der Worm drin, and that stands for the worm in there. So it's just about like scoring points, rolling the dice, and getting the pieces, pushing your worm, and being the first one to win. It's really fun, and I really enjoy it. Right. So that is the board. You've got all of these different worms. And there's one more that I haven't showed you yet. And it's that one. No, so you've got all of these different pieces, different sizes, and you roll the dice, and whatever you get, you have to put it into the hole. So let's say I got a green, like I just did. By the roll, I got a green. I'd have to stick it up the hole, and it would push my worm further. Of course, you want to be the first one to get to the top. Also, you can place your bets on who is going to reach there first. So you can even gain your own, like daisies, strawberries, and there's so much more. It's just really fun and really simple. And that's Ethan's Gaming Corner. Bye!